So if you have a kid that was born premature and he has cerebral palsy because of a brain bleed that affects pretty much everything, when it comes time to start trying to sit them upright on their own, or just with assistance, whatever, when you're starting to sit them upright, it can be a pretty big challenge. Now, with my son Emmett, he has a spit up issue, so that makes it even more of a challenge. On top of that, he can't see very well. All that considered, I'm going to show you what I do regularly and how we practice sitting with him. We've been doing this for over a year now, so he's made a lot of progress, and he's not how he was when he started. He was a limp noodle when we started. So now he's actually putting his arms down and using his arms to actually support his body. Sometimes I can even let him go for like maybe 1, 2, 3 seconds at a time. So that's what we're talking about today. It's gonna be a quick video, quick and easy video, just showing you what I do to sit him. And this is just what we do every single day. It's just part of our routine. First things first, when we sit him up, first thing that we like to do is, because obviously he starts off laying flat on the floor. At the start, because of the spit up issue, we would take it pretty slow and just basically easily sit him up. And I mean, it's hard to explain to other people that don't know him, because I don't even have to think about his cues when he's about to spit, because I just know when they're coming and I can prevent it quick. It's like when I see a cue, could be the way his lips are moving and the way he starts to breathe, or I just tilt him back real quick and look for distraction, any distractions. Could be toys, rattles, noises. I found this page on Instagram that it did work really well, but he's gotten used to it, and that's the thing that sucks too, is because they learn fast. Just finding distractions if I see the motions coming on, and once I know he's clear and over that little moment, then I sit him straight up. And it used to be I just had him on my lap. I would basically give him a lot of support on the front and kind of just let him lean, so he was focusing more on his neck support, so he'd learn how to hold his head, because he does have a pretty big head because of the brain bleed. But now I sit him flat on the floor. Sometimes I have my legs surrounding him so he can fall back on or lean forward on my knees. But now I've removed my front legs and I'm trying to let him use his front arms as much as possible. So that's what I'm doing today, is as long as he can take it, I'll just let him do his thing for a while. Typically, you know, right when I sit him up, after I said if he's gonna spit or not, he typically has like little burps that he needs to get out. So I let him get his burps out, tip him back forward, and then we're usually good to go. He pretty much puts his arms where he wants to put his arms. And luckily, he's kind of learning, like, if I put them here, they hold me, so he continues to put them there, other than just throwing them in a spot and then locking them and hoping that if he falls that way, they catch him that way. It's not really how it works, but he's figuring it out. Like, he can move them around and they will support him wherever he leans. Now, he still does fall forward all the way. I mean, it still happens, but he's learning. It's always good to switch arms too. If he's leaning more on one arm, I'll let him do that for a little while, but I gotta switch it. I mean, you gotta switch it to the left arm and then go to the right arm and then switch it back to the left arm, so he gets a feel for both sides of the body. And he's using both arms to utilize his muscles, because he needs to be using both, especially at his age. With kids his age, I gotta push him. He's way behind for his age technically, which is fine considering everything he's had go on, but still, he needs to be pushed to his limit and then a little bit further, because that's how progress is made. And typically in those moments are when things change and things happen. If you've never gone through anything like that, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about with kids. A lot of times when we push him to a certain point and he's like fed up and over it, we just go a little bit longer. Things have happened that are like, wait a minute, did that just really happen? Like, for instance, we were sitting him probably a little bit too long than we should have, and he started fussing, getting tired of it. He's telling us, like, I'm done, I'm over it. And some actual words came out, it sounded like. Now, it's probably just a coincidence, but I think that was the first time we heard, like, moms. So, I mean, it's just little things like that trigger other things. You just never know. But it's always good to push them, because that's how they progress, especially when they're kids that are behind. Like you'll see with him, he's capable. It's just gonna take time and practice for this stuff to come together. So yeah, this is what we do on a daily basis. We've been doing this for about 18 months or so probably now, because he's 2 years old, and I'd say like probably 6 months out. Basically, as soon as his therapist started showing us techniques with him, that's when we started doing this. So that's basically when we started. Like I said, I know this can be a difficult time and a difficult thing to deal with kids that have been born premature and have a lot going on, and you don't know how to, especially if this is your first kid and you've never been around a kid like this at all. It can be super difficult, and if you're in that very, very difficult point right now, just know, keep pushing. It will get better. Things do not stay like this forever. They continue to grow. You continue to grow with them. Just know there are other people out there that are going through the same thing as you, probably worse. I like to try to keep that in mind as much as possible. Repetition and consistency is everything, whether it comes to sitting your kid or just in life in general. I hope somebody found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button so more people can see this type of stuff. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, because I'll be creating more content on a regular basis, and I will see you in the next video.